What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, and daily news. Everything going on here with our country, with Washington, D.C., and everything you need to know about on a daily basis. Money, investing, the stock market, IRS, tax refunds, everything that you need to know about on a daily basis. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much for giving these videos a like. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. The IRS sends out a warning that mistakes on your tax returns, like mistakes with the amounts of your child tax credits or stimulus checks, claiming the amounts. If you are claiming the amount owed to you with your stimulus checks, remember that if you did not get your third stimulus check, you can claim the amount owed to you on line 30. Or if your refund is wrong, if you make a mistake on your tax return, this could cause significant delays to your tax return. And this is one of the reasons why some people get their tax returns in a timely fashion, maybe a few weeks, or maybe it costs them several months on why their tax return is delayed.
Throughout the pandemic, Congress had issued a series of economic benefits, from stimulus checks to tax breaks. Lawmakers say they've been critical lifelines for many Americans, but the benefits are also causing serious headaches for the IRS. Last night, we reported on how the agency's dealing with outdated technology, staff shortages, and major backlogs. Tonight, we're sharing the story of a woman who's still waiting for her tax refund from last year. CNBC's Elan Moy now with part 2 of her series on what could be the worst tax season ever.
The bill as amended is passed.
It was supposed to be good news, a new tax break passed by Congress last spring that made thousands of dollars in unemployment benefits tax-free. But for Alicia Holiday in Ohio, it was the start of her tax nightmare.
There's no point in calling anymore. They're just going to tell me the same thing. It's processing, it's processing.
Holiday thought she was doing the right thing. She filed her taxes in February last year to cover her wife and 2 kids. When Congress changed the rules a month later, at first she was thrilled. Instead of owing money to Uncle Sam, she would be getting back $2,210. So Holiday filed an amended return and waited, and waited, and waited. 9 months later, still no cash.
They all told me that nothing's wrong with my return. It's still processing. It's holding up all of the money that, my wife and I are, need to get, second vehicle, things that we need for the home.
Typically, the IRS receives 35 million calls during the tax season. Last year, it got 119 million. Experts say the system is simply overwhelmed.
Once you're in this sort of, let's call it, endless loop of communications, et cetera, it's very difficult to call and get resolution in that process. And you're gonna just need to have extraordinary patience.
But Holiday feels hers has just about run out.
It's really hard to place blame on something because, I do have a heart, but it's kind of like you have a job, get the job done, or hire more people to get this stuff done, because it's not fair to the people who are doing what they need to do by the time frame that needs to be done. And I feel like we're being penalized for it.
Now, generally, you don't have to wait for last season's tax return to get resolved before you file this season. But, Shep, there are exceptions, and there is a risk you could get buried in the backlog again.
Elan Moy, thank you.
Now, you heard that lady say, hire more people. Well, they are not allowed to hire a certain amount of more people. Remember, they want to hire more people, or at least the Democrats do. In the Build Back Better package, they want to hire 80,000 more people, but they have not been able to pass the Build Back Better package. So remember, that's a double-edged sword, because with that, to help pay the salaries of those people comes more audits. If you don't get audited, it's not a bad thing, because it helps people get their refunds faster, helps people get their stimulus checks faster, helps people get their child tax credits faster, helps people when you have to call the IRS, it helps you get through faster. You don't have to wait an hour on the IRS phone. So, but if you get audited, which not many people do, then it's not a good thing. But the problem is the IRS is severely understaffed, and there is millions of tax returns from last year and even the year before in total that they are still working on. So, fingers crossed that your tax refunds go smoothly this year. May the force be with you. Meanwhile, a lot of people are asking what is going on with the $10,200 unemployment tax break. Well, a couple different things on this. One, yeah, a lot of people are still waiting on those as well. Um, yes, those are still going out as well. This is passed from the third stimulus check package, retroactive back to 2020. Yeah, unfortunately, IRS is still working on a lot of those. So if you're still waiting on that, what it did is it made from the year 2020, it made the $10,200 of your income, unemployment income, tax free. So this made several $100s to several $1,000s refund or stimulus money, whatever you want to call it. It was from the third stimulus check package, so it is a stimulus provision. It's it basically gave you a stimulus check back. Okay. But unfortunately, the IRS, if you have a more complicated tax return, or if, the IRS is again just literally behind by millions of tax returns, a lot of people are still waiting on this. Over a million people. So they're still working on this as well. But as you can see here, there's not a provision for this for 2021 tax year. The year that just passed. There's not a provision for this for 2021. This could be done here in 2022. Remember, in 2021, they did this retroactively back for 2022. I'm sorry, they did this retroactively back for 2020. So this could be a stimulus provision that they do retroactively back for 2021. There's so many different years here, right? This could be something that they do here this year in 2022, retroactively back for 2021. This could be something that they pass this year as well. It's a possibility. Okay. So, but as of right now, there is no $10,200 unemployment provision. So, yeah, as of right now, you're going to have to pay the taxes on this. So, yeah, it's just not there. So I've been getting a lot of questions on that in the comments. So yeah, go ahead and file your taxes, and try to do them correctly. I've done several different videos here. There's a $4,000 to $8,000 child care tax credit. If you had a new baby this year, you can claim $1,400 I'm sorry, if you had a new baby last year in 2021, you can claim the $1,400 stimulus check for that baby. They're entitled to a stimulus check as well, and the $3,600 child tax credit, so a total of $5,000 for them. Make sure you claim that on your tax return. If you if you have any children last year, you got to claim the rest of the child tax credits on a tax return. You have to file a tax return to claim the rest of the child tax credits, okay? There's no other way around it. If you're a non-tax filer, you got to file a tax return to claim the rest of the child tax credits, okay? I'm going to have a lot of different tax stuff here going forward here for you. Also, we got this here, 5 key money changes coming over the next week. From $1,657 Social Security COLA payments to $375 monthly income program. Yeah, so these are all coming up here very shortly. Let's start with number 1. Whether you're a retiree or a working American, it's possible your bank account could be getting a boost starting this week. Number 1, Social Security. The final January batch of cost of living adjustment Social Security checks are going out to claimants on Wednesday, January 26th. That is today. This will apply to those with birthdays between 21st and the 31st and are not grandfathered into the old system. Okay, so those people will be getting their checks today. Thanks to a 5.9% cost of living adjustment, the average checks will be getting a $1,657 a month, or an extra $92 per month. Now, of course, we know that nobody's really average. Some people get more, a lot of people get less. And this is with the 5.9% cost of living adjustment. Social Security says that this is the average amount. Again, I don't make up these numbers. This is what Social Security says. This is what this article says. So this is kind of the average amounts per month. So, but this is the schedule here. So everybody should have now got their January payments for Social Security, with the last payments going out here today, and the 5.9% cost of living adjustments now included. So everybody should have got their 5.9% increase for January, starting for January. So everybody should have gotten it now. Number 2, guaranteed city income program applications. Currently, various city and states are experimenting with universal basic income programs across states and counties. Starting Monday, January 31st, single mothers in Birmingham, Alabama can start applying for $375 monthly payments, which will recur for a year straight. There will be 110 Birmingham residents who will be chosen. Any female identifying head of family caring for at least one child under the age of 18 can apply. Once applicants open, the city will only accept them until February 7th. Number 3, W-2 forms. If you haven't got it already, working Americans can expect to receive their W-2s from their employers soon. This document contains key information about taxes from with your income from your employer. This will help you determine your general refund, assuming you overpaid in your taxes last year. Again, you don't really get a refund if you didn't overpay your taxes, but you will if you get to claim certain tax deductions like the child tax credit, the child care tax credit, the earned income tax deduction, the adult tax credit, all sorts of different things we cover here on this channel. So you don't have to necessarily overpay on your taxes. You could just have tax deductions as well. Due to a law passed in 2015, employers are required to file copies of W-2 forms and W-3 forms with the Social Security Administration by January 31st. Speaking of tax returns, Americans can now start filing them in 2022. The IRS started accepting 2021 tax returns as of yesterday, or 2 days ago, January 24th. The average American received $2,775 in tax refunds in 2021, an increase of 11% according to the previous year. Wage hike. Also, tens of thousands of workers will be getting a big pay boost in the next coming days. This is a result of President Biden's executive order he signed last April that lifts the minimum wage of federal workers to $15 an hour, up from $10.95 per hour. This is for federal workers. While a majority of federal workers already earn $15 an hour, another 70,000 people will get the pay boost. Most federal employees qualify for this boost are defense contractors. The pay boost will go into effect on Sunday, January 30th. House Majority Leader from the Democrats, Steny Hoyer, says a significant version of the Build Back Better package will pass this year. So pretty big thing there. Steny Hoyer, House Majority Leader, said yesterday, quote, "The overwhelming majority of that piece of legislation is supported by 50 Democratic U.S. senators, and they've said so," Hoyer said on a Zoom call hosted by Politico. Quote, "There are some things that they don't support, and we haven't moved ahead on that, but we need to keep working on that, and we need to get it done." Now, the House passed the Build Back Better package in November, and it has been currently stalled in the Senate, and which includes a host of education, healthcare, climate programs, stimulus programs. where moderate Joe Manchin has balked at the price tag and certain provisions he fears will exacerbate both inflation and national debt. The standoff has sparked some speculation that Democrats will have to break the package into much smaller pieces or abandon it altogether and move on to more popular messaging bills in the midterm elections. But Hoyer on Tuesday rejected both scenarios, saying that while Manchin's opposition has sunk the House passed proposal in its current form, the centrist holdout has also voiced support for most of the bill's significant provisions. That list includes early education, Obamacare expansion, billions of dollars for climate, and a provision empowering Medicare to negotiate lower drug prices on behalf of seniors. Joe Manchin, quote, has indicated he's supportive of much of this legislation, Hoyer said. Quote, I'm of belief that Build Back Better is going to pass. It won't pass as we've sent it to the Senate, obviously. It will be changed, but that's the legislative process. He says, quote, we know that what 50 senators have said, therefore, is an extraordinarily positive package for America. And therefore, if we get that back, even if it doesn't have everything we want to do, my view will be, and I think the speaker's view will be, we need to pass that. Now, the bill has gotten some criticism for not having enough items in there for the people. And as we near midterm elections, there's been more and more people kind of clamoring that there needs to be more items in there for the people, or else they might not get enough support or enough votes, I should say. But on the other hand, we also have people saying, well, the Republicans aren't really putting forward anything for the people. The Republicans don't have any currently thing on the table to really when you kind of think about like packages right now that are putting forward like stimulus money or child tax credits or child support, or not child support, but like reducing the cost of childcare or any of these different type of things. Republicans are voting no on all of them. So you do kind of gotta if you're going to vote right now, you could kind of if you were like a realist, if you were an independent, or if you were kind of maybe thinking about switching party, Democrat to Republican, Republican to Democrat, or maybe not knowing which way to vote, or just not voting for either party and deciding which way to vote, you would kind of have to weigh all that out. Do you vote for Democrat? Do you vote for Republican? Do you vote for independent? There's not many independents, to be honest. You would kind of have to weigh that out. Which party would you go with? Which way would you vote? So that is kind of a big thought process for a lot of people. Which party is kind of doing the most for the people right now? And that is a big discussion here on a lot of people's minds as we go towards the midterm elections this year. It is going to be a big election year. So let me know your thoughts here. As both parties are gearing up for a big election year, Republicans think they're going to take back the House and the Senate. Democrats think that they're going to keep the House and the Senate. And we're going to see what each party does for the people this year. What do you think? What do you think is going to happen here this year? Meanwhile, we're still in a pandemic. 2 days ago, we had over 1 million people test positive. It's still really, really bad out there. And economic wise, it's still still really, really bad as well. The stock market has just been crumbling lately. Remember that over 50% of people have money in the stock market, pensions, 401ks, retirement plans, just regular money in the stock market. People's jobs, depend on this as well. Their companies, all sorts of things. It's just economically, everything has just kind of been a little bit teeter tottery lately. Yeah, is that a word? It's the word of the day, right? Teeter tottery for 2022. So let me know your thoughts. I will keep you up to date here with everything. Make sure to subscribe down below. That's our word of the day. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up, right? So I'll keep you up to date here. You can click here to watch our newest video next. And click this video if you have any children or your family members have any children. You can claim up to $4,000 to $8,000 stimulus on your tax return. But if you don't know about it, you'll miss out on it. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.